and Facebook, depending on where you're at in the world. Jerry, coming to you from the Rhythmia Life Advancement Center in Guanacaste, Costa Rica. We're a one-of-a-kind life advancement center that uses ayahuasca, metaphysical teachings, farm-to-table organic food, breathwork, meditation, and much, much, much more in a one-week program that'll blow your mind. How do I know that? Over 17,000 guests have been through the door. And 98.36% of them report a life-changing miracle during their stay. Better yet, at the 6-month mark, 90.22% say that this was the week that changed their life. Because of that, we get billionaires and athletes and actors and actresses, entertainers, all kinds of people throughout the world that have this experience at Rhythmia. And this experience, is just amazing. I get to see people every week from all over the world, from Dubai, from Kazakhstan, from Mongolia, from all over the world, from United States and Canada, come here, have this thing happen. Our board of directors have all been here and have all experienced it. Who's on that board of directors? Kelly Slater, the greatest surfer of all time. Ron White, the comedian. Cesar Millan, the dog whisperer. Michael Bernard Beckwith, the founder of Agape. Martin Luther King's son, Martin. These people are here for a reason. Please, Douglas, not now. I'm doing a Facebook Live, Douglas. That's okay. Just put it down, Douglas. Thanks so much. This is Douglas, everybody. Hey, great. Thank you so much. Okay. Martin Luther King and more are here and have come here, experienced the plant medicine, decided to give their good name to this place, right? Why? Because it works. And normal people just like you and me come here every week and have this thing happen. This is Go Big number 4. And in this, I talk about things that the medicine has told me in relation to the after of what happens once you come here. Once you come here, you have this soul merger, or at least 98% of the people have this soul merger. And from then on, it gets very exciting because most people, the overwhelming vast majority that have this soul merger, decide to become a beneficial presence on the planet. And by that, a beneficial presence on the planet, what we mean is that they decide to do something that benefits others as opposed to themselves. They become a beneficial presence on the planet. And what happens once that occurs? Well, that's usually a 10-year life event. So becoming a beneficial presence, obtaining mastery, is not a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-year thing. It's a 10-year thing, sometimes a 30-year thing. But it's a lifelong endeavor. It's a ceremony, right? And during that ceremony, we attain mastery. And once we attain mastery, we feel like we are in a state of flow where everything starts happening on our behalf, that the whole universe is conspiring for us and not against us. That's a thing. Now, to get there, we really have to stretch during the trip. It's constant stretching, just like muscles. When you work out, how do you know when you're gaining mass? Because it's burning and hurting, stretching. That's this feeling of progress, right? So today's talk and the things that I learned, one of the most interesting ceremonies I've ever had in regards to going big had to do with how you picture certain things. So the first and most important thing is we have to do something bigger than ourselves. So let's say I want to become rich is too much of a small thing. I want to open up a food business that helps millions of people heal. That's a bigger thing. So the first thing is we get this idea of from our merged self about how we're going to become a beneficial presence on the planet. And that thing has to be bigger than us. It can't be us. It has to be bigger than us, right? Because a cause greater than ourselves is the mother of duty. So I'm going to get down to why this matters. Because uh, duty is then the mother of grit. And grit is the number one ingredient in earthly success. Grit. There's a whole study on it. Angela Duckworth did all of the study about grit and self-control. They're things that lead to this super success. But why? Why? Because anybody that, if you've ever watched a real good mother, a single mother, she gets out of bed and goes to work and cleans the house and makes breakfast and does all those things, not out of something for herself, but out of a sense of duty. Duty overrides self. And to get to duty, we have to do something bigger than ourselves. Because if it's just me, it's not big enough to have a sense of duty. Right? So that's and I know it's a little bit confusing, but when you have this rhythmia experience, and in that experience, you see that, oh my God, I'm going to do this thing where I am going to be a part of becoming this beneficial presence as this thing. It has to be much bigger than you, because, and then you have to commit to it. And not only to it and all of the people that it benefits, so that you have the sense of duty. Because I do things out of that sense of duty that I would never do for myself. Never, ever, ever. But because of this sense of duty, I now have grit. So it's the mother of the mother of the mother, right? And when you have that, and what is grit? Grit, let's go back to duty. Duty is, I promised Bob I was going to meet him at the gym today. As much, you'll get there more often than I promised Jerry that I'm going to meet him at the gym today. The more people you involve in your sense of duty, the bigger your mission, the more people you will let down by not showing up. That is what grit is. That is what grit is. That is what duty is. And these are all things that are out of favor right now. Right now, the world is telling us, do what you can do to make your life easier at the expense of others. That's what the world's saying. Raise taxes, give money away. That's what the world is saying. It's me, 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 me. And real life, real going big is them, 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 them. I'm doing this for them. That my sense of duty is to them, to the whole, to the big thing. That is where my sense of duty is at, and I am going to be committed to that sense of duty. It's a beautiful thing to have people count on you. To be the one who has to show up. What a gift, right? That is the gift. So get yourself in trouble. What I mean by that is this. Go, get a cause bigger than yourself and overpromise that you can deliver it. And then spend your time in duty and grit, making that real. That's what the fun is. That's where this thing is. And you'll have thousands of people telling you, you're not good enough. You can't do it. You're not enough. It'll never work. You're not a good cheerleader. You're not a good business person. You're not a good singer. You're not a good this. And they're all well-meaning. And your grit and your sense of commitment to the greater whole is going to keep you in it, and you'll prevail. And that is the truth about going big. And that makes all of the dirty parts of going big. What do I mean by the dirty parts? I mean the getting up when you don't feel like it, And one of the things with the first sense of duty is I have a duty to keep myself healthy and interested. How do I do that? Number one, I get up and have some form of exercise. I get up and have some form of daily practice, prayer, breath work, meditation, uh, uh, spiritual mind treatments, chanting, whatever it is. And then I commit to putting things in my body that are good. Now, I might not do that for me, but I will do it because I know I got to keep this clean so that other people can benefit from the work that I'm doing out there. That's a sense of duty. That's grit. And that's what does not quit, right? So of all the studies we know about the things, so what is another look at grit? Not quitting is another words of saying grit. But grit's even more than not quitting. It's digging in when all things around you are falling down. It's persevering when everything looks like it's over and done. It's after you're losing the first 10 rounds of a 10-round fight, and halfway through the 10th round, you won't quit and you keep pushing. That's what this is about. That's what grit is. And that's what separates the people who attain mastery. You cannot attain mastery without grit. You know why? Because practicing skills is friggin' boring. A lot of the prep work to becoming masterful is gritty work that nobody wants to do. But it's the key to the city. I want to leave you with that this week. God bless you. God keep you. God hold you. And we will see you next week. Go find a purpose bigger than yourself. Get that sense of duty that leads to grit, and you'll win.